Hey, this is the Spark of Madness podcast.
Hey, I think Ben's
Hey,
here.
I hope. Hey, Ben, are you here?
No, I am not here.
My computer's acting funny. I'll fix this.
No, this
Ben's
is
here.
Yeah, there he
Oh,
is. That's really
Don't
funny.
pay attention to the man behind me.
Matt, would you
Yeah,
control
sure.
the conversation for a while?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like me not being here. Come back to me.
Yeah.
Come
So
back to
Ben,
me.
what?
Hey.
Hey, welcome, Ben. How you're feeling a little better? It sounds like.
I'm having an out of body experience.
Yes.
Let's leave it like that for the rest.
This is pretty funny.
It's funny.
I don't even know how that's possible.
The camera froze. I have to fix it.
No, leave it.
Leave it.
Yeah, for now. Why not? It's just funny.
This is some good TV.
So this is you. Your real self is actually down the hallway. Hasn't walked up here yet.
No,
to
it's-
like mirror your
His
positioning.
real self's
in
at the
here.
carnival right now.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
In the House of Mirrors.
I've been sick.
This is so
Hey,
funny.
Ben, how you doing? I'll let you know when I get here.
If you're listening, Ben, like we have our camera set up and like it's just somehow the thing is playing behind him, the video, but there's
It all
nobody
works.
sitting in his seat. It's ridiculous.
He's there, I promise.
This is like the perfect.
I'm not here.
This is the perfect introduction to the new horror movie we're doing this week.
Excellent.
All right, so this is Spark Madness podcast. We're going to talk about. This is going to be like pure spoilers.
Introduce
movie.
everybody.
Yeah, so I'm Matt. That's
Ben.
that's Ben right there,
Hey.
and that's Aaron.
Hey.
And so what we're going to talk about a movie. One in this case, one that just came out, and at
No.
the end we'll give you
Ow.
our rating. Yeah.
Okay.
And so this week we are doing Us, Jordan Peele's new horror thriller comedy. I think comedy has to be one of the words.
I
in
think
my
it's
opinion.
just a movie.
Okay.
You think his buddy Key is sad that he got left out?
He died and turned into a gun.
Yeah,
still here.
No, I think I can fix this. One moment.
Oh.
While I'm going to ask you in a minute to pull something. Oh, hey, he showed up.
Hey, technical wizardry.
Here we go.
Wow.
So part of this, what's going to be interesting before we get to the movie, do you have the image?
Yes, I
Aaron?
have the
Go ahead and
image.
pull that up because last week, there we go.
Oh.
This has to
Hey,
do with our
pretty.
movie draft.
Yeah, so on last Saturday,
Saturday.
instead of doing a normal show, we did a podcast where we brought in the three of us and 5 other guests, and we're all doing a year-long competition called the Spark of Madness movie draft, where we all drafted a team of movies. This week,
Nerds.
yeah, we're nerds. So this week, we actually are gonna. This is the first time we're doing it, and one of those movies is Us, which came out this year, which is on my team. And so, if you look at the screen,
How nice for Matt.
Yeah. This was a great. Given that it was the greatest
Fixed.
opening weekend ever for a horror, or one of the
Gina.
greatest
Were
opening
you
weekends
in
for horror.
communications with Mr. Peele?
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
He's
I
like,
was.
I drew this name.
Yes.
This one belongs to me.
Yeah.
My voice has been out for a couple of weeks, folks.
It's getting better.
So go ahead, put it back one more time. Aaron.
Okay.
So the only reason I pulled this up is
Oh.
look, just check out. So this movie has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, 72% critic score, 81% Metacritic. If that
What
gives
about
you
the audience score? Do we count that?
that is the audience
Yeah,
score.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
It's doing pretty good.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's a big difference.
keep that in mind when we get to the end to compare. But anyway, it's done very well so far.
Very well.
How would you guys kind of set this movie up, other than it's kind of like parallel version of a family that's horror, like
There's a movie
slasher horror.
There's a movie that came out years ago called The Strangers.
Yeah, that's
And
what
it's
I was thinking
and it's
about.
and it's like an invasion.
Home invasion? Yeah.
What was that, Liv Tyler?
That one was creepy
Yeah.
because it felt more real. It felt more grounded in reality. Actually, I think it was based on a true story, actually. But that home invasion was scarier than this. So it has the same feel, but this one has more of a science fiction feel to it.
What
Yeah.
about Funny Games? Remember that one?
I don't remember
Nobody knows that one? We have to review that at some point.
that. All right.
Yeah.
That is a interesting movie.
I would say this kind of blends the home invasion horror movie with Twilight Zone, which
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Given
I was
Jordan
thinking
Peele's
of The
Twilight
Strangers.
Yeah. What you just said, Phil.
Wait, what did I meant? I meant to say the one that we did earlier for Spook
Others.
of Mad. The
Others.
others, yes.
Oh, the others.
Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking
Definitely
about.
has. So
The other strangers.
basically, I don't want to spoil too much of the movie. It's family sees parallel version of themselves. the two kids and the parents.
Matt, your
And-
pants are getting really excited.
It's the keying.
Oh. Ooh.
I hate to say it, Matt, but this movie is not that original because Simpsons did it.
What? I forgot. Simpsons done everything.
What was their version? I don't remember.
You didn't see the picture,
You
did
see the
you?
picture?
Oh, I didn't. Sorry. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's right.
He's like, I'm
So
looking.
you're totally right. Oh man. The fish heads.
Hey Arnold did it too.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and dive in.
All right.
We
No
can.
pun
This is your.
intended.
This is
I don't know.
just
Spoiler
the lake
warning.
house. The
There's
lake-
water out there.
Yeah. So
There's
this,
a beach.
This is your spoiler warning because we're gonna get into it.
Hold
So
on to your butts. Autobots transform.
let's go with
and
you,
roll
Aaron.
out.
Aaron, where would you start with this movie? I guess what's the one thing you kind of took away from?
I have really mixed feelings on this movie because there's lots of stuff to like, but a lot of it, I don't know, it just didn't land with me.
Yeah.
Like if I see all the metaphor and it's nice and there's a lot of good visual setup, good tension,
It's about the environment.
but no, it's actually not for once.
I'd actually be interested to hear what you think what the metaphor is, because I was actually struggling to come up with like a really strong one, I guess.
Well, the one
our
I've
worst
got
enemies.
that's it,
okay,
Yeah.
and it's not very strong.
Yeah, that so
we are our own, like, we struggle with ourselves.
we're not as like they presented it very much so that the tethered were the soulless, almost like evil, corrupted versions,
The evil.
and then you get the
I don't know. They feel like the perfect moral foil because you can understand why they do what they do, and
They're like Frankenstein,
yeah, maybe.
the monster,
I mean, there is the implication that these were created clones by the government or something.
which we'll have to get into.
yeah. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
okay, all right, we'll come back to it.
But I'll just say, if
Spoiler
I had to
alert.
make like my own metaphor of this movie, it was like getting into the symbolism car, and they never hit the gas, so you're just kind
Coasting.
of going 5 miles an hour.
Yeah. I think I feel similar.
'Cause, like, there's lots of metaphor to dissect, but it never really felt like it took me anywhere.
I think he was in metaphor purgatory, where he didn't know if he wanted to be literal or metaphorical. And it was like, you either go 100%, like, more, they don't explain anything. Like, they're just people
And-
running around
yeah.
that look like us. And, like, don't explain it.
I need to temper.
Or explain it to a fact that doesn't suspend my disbelief, or explain it so my suspense of disbelief is not. What's the word?
Shattered. Yeah.
Shattered,
I mean,
you know.
I will say I kind of liked the twist at the end, but I
You
think
mean the one that I saw coming
The
when I
anime
saw the first thing happen?
Did you?
see. Here's the thing: is everybody's
He's dead. He's a ghost.
I'm the person that I don't call it until the end. Like I
Yeah.
don't see it really ever. And so even in this
Yeah.
case, I liked it. But
I liked it, too.
Other people are, I think if we could have had Wesley on, he would have called out how people were, in his conversations that they're like, oh, I predicted it, so that means it's bad. I don't think
No.
that
No,
means
that's
it's
not.
bad.
That's not necessarily so.
No.
But I don't like how they communicated all of it. Like, because that's the crux of the movie is that we are our own, like, we don't know who's bad or good. Like, the real people were the ones, the real version of Lupita Nyong'o was the one that organized this uprising and stuff. And but
you know, be better.
they explained it entirely in this like weird voiceover that like
And
all
then
at
he's frozen
once
again.
yeah. Oh, I'm frozen.
Can I just keep?
I'm a ventriloquist. We represent the. Oh, I'm back. Damn it.
Yes,
I think I know how to
but yeah,
fix this.
the ending though was kind of, I feel like the weakest part in how they.
I
twist-
actually
also-
like the ending better than the exposition. I like that.
What?
I like that. The the twist. I like the twist better than.
Oh, in the
than
car. Yeah, well,
than the
yeah,
exposition.
yeah.
Like I think that is the ending. I think the exposition ending, like the pre-ending, is the weakest part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I also didn't. I wasn't the bit. I know there was. Speaking of a movie on this podcast we did that was kind of polarizing was Annihilation, and I feel like this is kind of the invert of that, where Annihilation really started to hit on something when it got to the very end with that kind of surreal ballet dance scene and how that kind of related to the rest of the movie, whereas the previous part felt like just kind of generic sci-fi, whatever. This movie, I almost would flip it, where the rest of the movie, most of the movie, I really was enjoying some of the horror stuff, and it was kind of horror comedy, and it was kind of fun, and they had different moments, and then it got to the end where they were trying to...
Stuff.
They got to the very end where they were trying to do this, like, really more artful type of stuff. Yeah, you guys aren't listening.
I'm listening.
I'm
They tried to do.
listening.
I guess it didn't come through to me, that long scene of her trying to kill herself, and like it wasn't landing for me because I don't think they tied it together.
That one goes along with other stuff that I would point out is that there's a lot of good visual stuff in this movie.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Who was the, yeah.
Like Peele clearly has like the eye for shots and stuff. He's just not taking me anywhere with it.
Yeah, I think I felt the similar feeling of this and Get Out,
yeah.
where I think there was a lot of great elements to this movie, but I think the plot and how they explain everything doesn't suspend my disbelief, and I think it takes me out of it.
Well, for
And
me,
I think that's really like the most glaring thing about this.
I think they set for me. I kept waiting for it. I kept waiting for him to Aaron's point, like to rev up. Like it felt like we were in neutral for a long time, or like they started this big fancy car and like they put all these pieces together of like these mirrors and this carnival place and all these little weird elements that are happening. And then it just kind of stayed once, like after the home invasion scene, which I thought was awesome. I loved that.
Yeah.
I thought every bit of it,
Even with
the tension build up.
even with the friends, it was good too.
Yeah, I thought all the way up until when they like all paired off in the home invasion part. I was like, all right, here we go. The movie's starting. But then it just kind of stayed there. It didn't really tie, like it stayed in that we're just chasing each other and killing each other for about 30 minutes. And it didn't like add another thing to it. And maybe they were like setting up little Easter eggs of the characters doing little things that
Yeah.
There
you
are
can
lots of
start
good
to
Easter
think
eggs in
about,
this
but
movie.
I don't know. It didn't like tip over, kind of like what
No.
Get Out. For me, I thought Get Out was much better than this.
I think it's much better, but
It like at least there, I was kind of like thinking in the background, in the back of my mind, like some of these other things, like there was like an undercurrent. Whereas this, I kept expecting there to be. And then they just tried to tie it together at the end.
you know what's interesting about Get Out is, and this is the same thing where it's very you're right. It's very Twilight Zone where it's like, oh, the girl he was with is
Yeah.
it's like, oh my god, it's just kind of.
It's kind of like a it's like a medium kind of
But
thought provoker.
they're both similar.
Did anybody else think that it would have made more sense if the son was the one that got switched? The way he was just different,
Yeah.
I would have liked if the son got switched and it was an intentional switch because of some like shame of him
yeah.
being burned or something.
I want to say the most interesting part of the movie is the two sons interacting with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I also
And the masks and
I like the idea of a clone being tethered to your soul too. I like that idea. I just thought it wasn't executed very well.
So I've thought I think we even joked about it in the parking lot, but I've thought it's come up a couple times since last weekend. But like, and I didn't care about it during the movie. I hesitate to even bring it up, but it's like it's really kind of funny to think about like somebody tethered to somebody on an airplane. Like, how does that work? Like,
I have to go to the bathroom.
yeah, or like because they explain it away that like there's just infinite tunnels
Is
below.
this the
beneath
sequel to
the
that movie
surface.
Stuck on You?
So, let me air out my dirty laundry about this movie.
Woo!
Here we
right.
go.
The biggest problem is the plot and the explanation of the clones. I know, like, you can suspend your disbelief in things where where it's
I
like,
mostly could.
yeah. I mean, like Superman can fly and all the different things. You can suspend your disbelief, but
You wish there were maybe less details
well,
explained at that.
Less or more.
or figure a better way to execute it. Because to me, they put so much effort in everything else that the explanation of why there is other people that seemed lazy to me. Like, it seemed lazy to me.
Well, maybe not lazy. It was more to serve the metaphor.
I get it, but to me, it's just like, oh, but it took me out as soon as there's clones of everybody. You know, it's like, wow. why is
Also,
there
Tim
clones?
Haydecker.
But how'd they do it? How'd they do it?
loved it.
How'd they do it? They couldn't do it. There's no logistical way of doing it. There's no like, and
this
is
is-
by
and-
chance
which-
they have children the same. Like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Which is something if you did for a hour-long premiere TV show, maybe you don't think as much because you're focused on this. Whereas this is a movie,
if
like
it's an episode
Yeah.
of a Twilight Zone, oh, that's an interesting bit.
Yeah.
But to me, it doesn't work in a full
yeah.
movie.
It's a little bit different.
It's more conceptual in an episodic, made-for-TV movie.
Yeah.
Or a Twilight Zone, because there's plenty of Twilight Zones. Like what the interesting concept, but doesn't
Like
make
I
sense.
have so many things written down from the start of the movie again that I thought were just, and maybe it's you're left to fill in the pieces however you want. There are movies that are kind of
Well,
like
that-
that, but
Yeah,
also
but there's
there's an
better-
element of like you got to nudge them a little bit.
Thing is, Matt, I was
At
able
certain-
to put the pieces together. I just didn't like them.
Yeah.
Well, like so for instance, there's the yeah. So what didn't you like all that much, Aaron?
Well,
when you say that?
aside from the two sons interacting with each other, the most fun I had was just trying to figure out what metaphors there were. And it's like, got it, but it doesn't really make me think.
I really thought
It
they
was-
were going to go down a path of like I thought he was going to go down another kind of racial social commentary thing about
Yeah,
how
like,
they're very affluent and like there's this
I was
whole
waiting for that.
mirror version of themselves that are, if you think about just classism in general, like a commentary about that with the context of being a
Yeah,
mirror
that-
image. I
that's
thought
not in
that's where
here.
they were going, but
No.
then it was like, no, I guess not.
And it's
You know what would
It just
make-
went
you
away.
know what would explain this better? If it was something more paranormal. Because that if you do paranormal stuff, you can get away with it more.
yeah. I mean, I thought this movie was
seriously.
early on. They had the Reagan era like stuff going on with the hands across America.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to go somewhere.
Yeah,
It did.
I yeah.
At the end, just for a
It kind of did.
Can you imagine being the clone that's in the water in the ocean? You're dead.
I gotta hold hands. Can we point out how laughable the rasp voice was?
No. All right.
I
This is
couldn't
where I'm
take
going
it
to disagree
seriously.
with you. I'm going to disagree.
I was laughing.
I love.
She's Maz Kanata, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved her in this movie.
No,
I don't think she got to Toni Collette level, but
I
she was
loved
pretty
everything
good.
about her
She was
except
pretty good.
that.
Toni Collette.
I enjoyed her performance except for that.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I did want to know why she struggled to talk at all.
Didn't make sense.
I think if we thought hard enough about it, well, like she got stuck down there because she was the original, and then they don't talk down
Maybe
there.
that's how
She had to learn their language.
Yeah. and
Maybe
that's-
there was
and that's
years of no talking.
So she's got to grunt and do all those things. And her voice.
Yeah.
Because the other tethered people just make grunts and squeals, you know.
Yeah. I
Which
thought,
I thought was cool atmospherically when he was in the boat.
Yeah.
And you heard the other ones. Like, what is that? Like, there was some good atmosphere. He did, and I liked.
There was great atmosphere.
And I loved the way he did the camera work with the running girl. Like, how was that a focus, in focus? Like, man, that was hard
really
to
good.
do.
Yeah.
And
I thought
she's
the
there.
music was really good.
Yeah, it put
Like,
me in it.
One of the
Yeah.
better scores I've heard in a while.
Although
I
they
think
did
it's
play
a
that
movie
little
like-
creepy theme one too many times.
Yeah.
a couple, yeah.
It's like it was Mandarin. What was it?
Mandarin is Chinese.
I know, but like the when they were singing at the beginning.
Oh, it's almost always Latin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I also didn't.
Something wicked this way comes.
I kept thinking that the rabbits and the being caged, and I kept thinking that was gonna.
Well, I got a metaphor for
come
you.
through in a clearer way.
No,
And
Matt,
maybe I'm
I-
just dense.
Matt,
but
let
I
me
don't,
let me
like-
dish you out some
Oh,
metaphor. You're
multiply.
gonna love this. Okay,
Here we go.
why rabbits?
Because there's tunnels.
No, think deeper.
carrots.
Eyesight.
He's got it. No. Rabbits have 2 ears,
Oh.
2 big ears.
Okay.
Duality. Why do they have scissors?
To untether themselves.
You're not thinking with metaphors.
I don't know.
What are scissors but 2 knives stuck together?
Okay.
2 they're clones. You're not thinking.
What is happening?
Oh,
I am
not-
getting to the meat of this movie, and you're feeling exactly what I felt during the movie.
To the rabbits of it. Well, but they even started on that long shot of the rabbits. There were 3 And they were like
That shot was like 5 minutes long.
They were like perfectly placed too. They were like 3 brown rabbits among all white rabbits. I don't know what that meant. I don't think it came
What do you
forward.
think it means, man?
There weren't 4 for the family. There were 3. Like it didn't.
That didn't mean anything.
And I thought they were
might
going to
mean
do
something
like
to Peele.
lab testing or something. But it was just to me what this ended up being was I kept expecting like what is that next level part, and it really just was a sci-fi story, which is fine.
Which is fine.
And it was done very well.
Done very well.
And that's it. That's where I've ended up with it.
You know
That's
what
where
I
you
felt
ended up
like
with
during this movie? I felt like I was being given a very low-level treatise on Carl Jung. You know?
Explain yourself.
Like his concept of the shadow and the implications. It just...
Well, explain it to the audience.
Well, that's as deep as it goes. You have a dark version of yourself.
Oh.
That's why I'm disappointed with the movie, because it didn't go very deep.
And I guess who's the dark version?
Ooh, who's to say? There's where it gets deep. Who's the baddie?
Who did they kill? The master or the apprentice?
Always two there are.
I thought the acting across the board was really good.
Yeah, the acting was great.
I thought
It was
I
excellent.
laughed my ass off every time Tim Heidecker did anything.
Why?
funny.
I thought he was like when he was,
was real.
he was the evil version or the clone version of himself, and he went to pick him up, and then he went too slow. Like,
Yeah, that was-
as the evil version.
I thought
was
I'd
not
laugh
prepared
till I
for
died.
that. I was
They
not
did,
No,
prepared.
they
You
did
know
a really
what was
good
funny?
job of like.
There was
this
a
is the
lot
same
of humor.
actors. They did
Yeah.
a good job of the same actors, and you really did think they're two different people.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Matt, you want to know what joke landed with me really well?
What was
Was
it?
on the boat where the dad fires the flare gun and it misses.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
That was fun.
After this long badass setup,
And that shot leading up to that, where it's camera locked down to the boat floor and you see the outside moving.
Yeah, it's a
'Cause the
good shot.
Yeah, it's a good shot. I called it out.
It felt real.
Yeah. Other than that, metaphor, right?
Was that a Chewbacca mask he had?
it kind of looked
It-
like
it-
it.
it
It's like
felt-
a,
it was
like a
either
little
the
wolf
Wolfman,
mask
yeah.
or something like
Yes.
that. Again, all of those things where you can maybe like extract something, but I don't think the major
It feels like a grab bag for everybody.
like I don't know what. So let's unpack just this one specific thing.
Unpacked.
Like they both had masks on. The one became like the pet of the mom of this like overprotectiveness.
Yeah,
like
that was set up.
expanded. That was okay. I'm following there. The mask part, I'm not totally sure. The girl was like running away. Like she was really good at running and they set that up. But I'm not like, what's the next thing of this? Like what?
I don't know.
Like other than these are just character traits. I had a hard time trying to tie it
took
to
those-
what they were.
Look,
what even their evil their
I took their special traits, their
Soulless version.
quirkiness, the kids, as a sign that they were the spawn of the tethered mom. You know, like they're just a little different.
But they're not.
Just a little bit.
They're not the spawn of the tethered mom.
I thought they were.
No, they were just all generated. They're just all
No, I thought
No.
she gave birth, like the normal version of the mom.
The real
gave birth to those.
the
kids.
real mom was switched as a kid, and then the tethered mom was the one that grew up in the world. She had those kids.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
And she had those kids too. They weren't created.
I'm gonna just not think about the
You don't
logistics
get
of
it,
things.
Matt.
And
Yeah,
but that,
I have
but,
to not.
But doesn't that
'cause-
take you out? Doesn't that make you mad? Take
What
you
I
out?
what I want to know is what
little,
the
yeah.
significance of Jeremiah 11:11 was.
11:11 is like make a wish.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, also the verse. I mean, I got it written down right here.
Is it like the end of time?
Let me do God voice for this. Hold on.
Oh boy, can I?
Let me do the God voice. Okay.
Here it comes, folks.
Behold, I am bringing disaster on them, which they will not be able to escape, though they will cry to me, yet I will not listen to them.
Could you put God on me?
No.
Do something.
What does that mean in this movie? I couldn't piece it together.
You're alone.
I mean, so Shin Naraku's saying we all wear masks, but like, yes, I understand. I get.
And you
like,
should trust no
I
one,
get
not
the
even yourself.
I get the metaphor of a mask, but I don't understand how. fits in. Like what?
He's got step 1 and 2. Just
It's
where's step
interesting.
3?
You
Not
loved
that
this
you-
movie when we walked out of it, but I think
No, I didn't.
you liked it a lot. I think
I liked. You'll hear my rating here.
But I
in a
think
We
minute.
liked portions of
I
it.
think you, like you and me, I think it's almost the same effect that we had when we saw A Mother, where we liked it a lot, but but like not as bad.
Not nearly.
But when it seasons with you, it's like, wait a minute.
I didn't facepalm once in this
No,
movie.
my opinion actually hasn't. I wrote it down here on my notes. My number. I wrote it down.
Did you take a picture with a newspaper?
I did. Yeah. I embedded it in here. My opinion hasn't changed. The reason I feel like we've spent this entire podcast, or at least I know I have. I feel like I almost have to articulate why it's not a 95. Like,
yeah,
it's stuff
clearly
like
not a
that.
95.
Like it's the kind of
It's much closer to the audience rating.
think so.
It's this unquestioned
75,
sometimes. So, okay, Wesley, Jeremiah 11:11 means that though you repent, God will not come to your aid. There you go.
I just read the verse. I know what it
There we go.
says.
When the family
you
calls the
repent,
police, they never
God
come.
will not come to your aid.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Only
tell me
Optimus
anything
Prime.
useful.
So the police didn't. So it's the parallel to that the police didn't come help
The
them.
police were paralleled by the
Okay,
parallel.
okay, I get it now.
But
10 out of 10.
were they weren't repenting? Isn't that part of it? Though you repent.
No,
They
just
never-
ignore
they
that
just-
part. The police didn't come.
Yeah. There
The
you go.
police didn't come
There's-
because at the beginning
It's
of
a
the movie
mirror.
they
It's a
called
mirror.
them, and we didn't see them come.
This movie's deep, dude.
This movie is Optimus Prime deep.
No, Matt, you want to know something? Why I'm being so... I don't even know if I'm being that hard in this movie. This ain't no Mother.
No.
It's because I can see that Mr. Peele is talented, and he's
Oh,
not
yeah.
giving us his A game right now.
No, I think he's giving us his B game, but I think he's giving us his D game in the writing. I think I think he needs some other writers.
I don't know. I definitely wouldn't go that far.
No, I
Not
think,
a D.
I think he needs. Does he have other people help him write? Because I think he needs someone else.
there's ghostwriters on pretty much everything.
Directed, produced it.
Yeah, but I think he needs another writer to help him. Like George Lucas is a good writer and storyteller, but he needs other people to help.
He needs a script writer.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that.
No, because the logistics ruined the whole thing. Took me out. I was done. The whole thing that serviced the plot, which is bad screenwriting, which is bad writing, which is my biggest complaint about The Last Jedi and other movies. That it's like I wrote this to service the whole plot. But it doesn't make it. It's that uncanny valley of like, wait a minute, something is off, and I'm taken out of it. And I think
I
that's
agree
what's
to a small degree, yeah.
It's not a interesting science fiction short. It's a feature length movie.
I see your point that there are certain things
Well,
that linger with you, but
But look at Quiet Place. We have no idea what those creatures are from. They don't make any sense to our reality, but they explain it enough and have left it ambiguous enough that those things are there and they're killing everybody.
and so this is why I would say that it was a couple. I wouldn't go wholesale that needs help with writing. I think he just made probably 2 or 3 choices that really impacted the movie.
Absolutely.
I thought the rest.
effort's there.
I thought the rest of the movie, the writing for the characters, I thought was great.
Yes,
I thought
and
the
the casting was
the
good.
pacing. I thought there was a lot in there, and to the point of like some
It
of
was
these
entertaining.
little details. I thought that was all very structured very well, but then there were just those couple things that really impacted your
Yeah.
takeaway and the lingering, like,
And-
wow,
and
that didn't really.
It was a couple
stick
of bad apples
together.
that spoiled the whole bunch.
That's right.
But the whole it was a great movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nice to see something that's not superhero or
Thank God.
And it's an
Star
original
Wars.
movie, which
something
deserves
original,
credit.
which I want
Yeah.
more of.
Totally. Wesley says that rabbits are duality. They are neither diurnal nor nocturnal. They're both.
Go to hell.
Go to hell and heaven. Duality.
No, because rabbits reproduce a lot. That's what I got. Like because they reproduce, and like they're
Food.
I don't know what I thought they were just
Matt,
experiments.
If we're getting close to the
Let's
end
do
of the
our-
podcast,
we are.
Can I throw some philosophy on you?
Oh,
I've got some
boy.
thoughts.
Only if you say it in the God voice. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay. Peele is a comedian, and I enjoy his comedy. He's a funny guy. One of the things I love so much about comedians and what they tell us, what they say to us, is that they have almost more than anyone in the world the ability to be frank and have us enjoy it. You know, they don't have to sugarcoat anything. And I don't feel like he was talking to me in this movie in a frank way. Know what I mean? I don't necessarily need more explanation. I just didn't feel like I was being talked to. I was being talked at.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm spitballing.
Matt's on his phone. He doesn't care.
I'm responding to the rest of
So
it.
I was talking at you, Matt.
I don't think it was much of a. I didn't think I was being talked at. I just think, for me, I think this was an expectations movie. This actually gets to what I was
It wasn't for
responding
me,
to.
though. I had no expectations.
Neither
well,
did I.
Well, for me, I don't think I felt like I was being. I don't think I ever felt preached to. I almost felt like I wished I was. I
I wouldn't say preached.
I kept expecting this next level thing, like we just talked about, that I got from Get Out, and this never came. This was just like fun sci-fi horror
I never
movie.
got that next level thing with Get Out. I thought it was a really good horror movie, and I thought this was just a lower comparison to his movie, but I don't think it's that much different. I don't think it's that much of a gap between Get Out and this. I really don't. I just think it's like you have the abilities, you have the pedigree, you have everything that makes you a really great filmmaker, but you're not quite there yet.
Maybe it's just the sophomore slump.
I don't even think this was soft. All right,
It wasn't a bad movie.
Ratings.
It wasn't a bad.
No,
Oh my God! You know,
Again,
M.
I'm
Night
being
Shyamalan's
hard on
made-
him because I think he's good.
M. Night Shyamalan has made some dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
His sophomore slump lasted like 10 years.
Yeah. Until he was a sophomore in college.
Yeah, okay.
That's 4
He
years.
was probably 40.
So I'll go first with our ratings.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you remember what was on the picture, it was like 95
To 75.
72, 81.
Okay.
Metacritic up to 81. I would give this movie. I was fluctuating. So I
Who's
ultimate-
Metacritic? What's that all about?
It's just another
one.
rating site.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're
Far
a little
more
bit
reliable.
They're yeah. So I ended up giving this movie a 7. This was actually more of a debate between a 6 and a 7 than a 7, and if that gives you any indication.
sure.
It was pretty. I think it's a low 7 for me.
Reasonable.
Which is, but I also very strongly say that like this was far from a slump of a movie.
No,
or,
it's
I
not
don't.
a slump at all.
I was exaggerating.
I don't even think that I would.
I'd watch it again.
I was not disappointed, but I also just want to let's level set here. This was him almost like hitting a double. That was like a fun horror
He bunted.
sci-fi movie with really good performances in it that has enough like really strong, memorable, to the point of it being so original that I'll remember this in like a couple years from now because of
Really?
certain parts of it.
I'm
and
glad
that
you
it's-
said that.
Yeah. So
6,
what about
7?
you? Yeah, I gave it a 7.
7,
What
okay.
do you give it, Aaron?
I will rate this movie a 6 out of 10 because I think it's worth a watch. It's got some good stuff in there. But counter to what you have said, I'm thinking more about this lately when we review movies because we do it so often. I'm noticing that most movies that come out now, I am never going to remember. I'm never going to think about again.
like Willy Wonka.
Right, yeah. I mean, we were talking about that before the show. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Very relative to what we're
Yeah,
talking about.
it's very metaphorical.
Yeah.
It's
Life is like chocolate factory.
in the last 2 years we've been doing this podcast, I can think of maybe 4 movies that are going to stick with me. New movies.
What are they?
I don't remember.
It.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
It-
I thought Quiet Place was one of those movies.
I remember it, but I'm probably never going to watch it again.
Okay.
Not that I disliked it at all. It just, it didn't.
Infinity Wars?
Have you met me?
I know. It was a joke, you joke.
It's funny. No, this was a good movie, but it didn't grab me.
Ben, what about you?
You know, I feel similar to Aaron. It's a very good movie. I recommend people to see this movie. But I'm close to 6.5 to a 7. But I might just give it a 7 because I thought it was entertaining, and I want new movies. I want something original.
Yeah.
I
So I
have
give
one
it a 7.
addendum. I rated it a 6 I thought it was mostly good, but I really want to see Peele bring his A game next time.
I think it's encouraging to see what he does next because he obviously has the chops.
Oh yeah.
I just think he needs more help in the writing room.
Maybe just a tad.
Just not a lot.
Because everything else is pretty
Because
stellar.
the idea, the concepts are great. Everything else is great. It's just like,
Final thoughts, Matt?
what?
I have none.
Why do you think the critics gave it a 95%? That is
Because they didn't watch The Strangers.
I don't. It's just.
And why did
it's
they
just
give
a
it-
flawed. It's a flawed.
And why did they give
rating system?
It is,
Yeah,
'cause
sometimes
it's,
the
it's binary.
because Harry and Henderson's so low.
Well, no, it's a real thing where reviews will be counted as rotten or fresh at really weird
yeah,
places.
It's like a weird cutoff.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
But also, I think critics are not reliable anymore, too.
No, I mean, you know when I figured out that Rotten Tomatoes is stupid is when Paul Blart Mall Cop got a 33%. What kind of garbage is that?
You should have got a 34%.
Yeah.
No Paul Blart lovers in here?
Only 34.
Only 33.
Jeez.
Give me a 40.
Oh, say something, Matt.
Autobots transform and roll out.
Well, so that was us. We're done with this.
Oh, by the way, us, U.S., United States.
Oh.
We are Americans.
Oh!
That was a line in the movie that
Yep.
was just the most like.
Okay, I
abrupt-
mean-
yep, cool.
I do like his opening intro of the monkey paw stirring, like the stop motion.
Well, that's their new. Well, that's from Get
That's
Out.
the best part
It's
of the movie.
T. That's
Yeah.
the T from Get Out.
but I love the
Yeah, that
really
was
cool
cool,
imagery.
Hey, Matt, what are we reviewing next week?
Hey, Paul Blart is the best Nazi.
I got people on my side.
Yeah, so next week we're gonna do Dumbo. Right?
Dumbo.
Yeah,
Pink
another new
elephants.
movie, which I think is who got that one? I think that was Colin. Colin, I think, has
I think he
Dumbo
did, yeah.
on his team. So maybe we'll have Colin on.
He's
for that.
gonna get some money from their circus.
Yes.
The mouse is servicing him well.
The mouse of the house.
So yeah, keep an eye out for that and tune in next week. Thanks everybody.
All right.
Next time on Spark of Madness.